Something is following me, and I can't tell what it is.
So, like, that's just an animal. That's just like a little guy. Specifically, this is the North American fisher, also known as the fisher cat in some areas. The North American fisher is a rather large species in the weasel family. They're related to things like ermine and martens and wolverines, and they are very common, albeit kind of rare to see, across much of the forested areas of Canada and the United States. Specifically, that video I stitched was in Appalachia, where people tend to get, if they're not from the area, if they're not born and grown up in the area or in similar rural forested areas, a little bit freaked out about things that are perfectly normal. There is quite a lot of folklore surrounding Appalachia and all of the cryptids and spirits that are allegedly found there. However, a large portion of the time, it is just an animal, like this, the American fisher. Now, if you don't really know what the fisher is, that can be a little bit creepy. However, that one was just almost definitely a curious little guy following the person filming the video. Now, I have seen a lot of the comments on the videos being like, oh, it was hunting that guy. It was trying to chase him out of its territory. And in my personal opinion, that was not the case. First of all, fishers are not very large, and while there has been a couple attacks on humans reported, I don't think there's been any fatalities, and most of the time it was for either territorial reasons, they were close to the nest or baby fishers, or they were like backed into a corner or something and trying to escape. I don't think there's been any reports of a fisher actively hunting a human, mostly because they are still rather small. Now, if this was a wolverine, that would be probably another case, but I'm pretty sure this was not a wolverine. And in any case, if this guy was being hunted, he would almost definitely not know it. You can see in the video the fisher keeps popping up and looking around and generally just looking curious. If it was trying to hunt him, he would not see it. Similarly, with people saying that he was being chased out of its territory, if that guy was being chased, he would know it, and the fisher would not just be popping up occasionally looking at him curiously. It would be actively, like, rushing him, trying to get him out of the territory. I think that this was just a little guy being like, oh, there's a person here, let's check that out, not feeling threatened, not actively trying to hurt or hunt this guy. That being said, American fishers tend to be more shy, and sightings of them are rather rare, so this is not a case of a guy being hunted by a cryptid or ghost in Appalachia. It is the case of a little animal that is rarely seen being very curious, which is even more cool. And quite often, people that haven't grown up in the woods, haven't grown up in rural areas, sometimes get surprised when they go outside where wild animals live, and there are sometimes wild animals there.